Okay, so for my presentation, my demonstration rather, I chose to work with tar, which is a Linux archiving tool. Okay, okay, so tar is a command in Unix and Unix-based systems, although it was also added to Windows a couple years ago. Basically what it does is it archives files, which is a different from what most people think it does. A lot of people think that this actually compresses the files, but it does not. All it does is archive them, and it turns them into what is referred to as a tarball, which is primarily used for taking the tar, grabbing it, and then people often use it to distribute it out to other people to maybe show off what you're doing for a project, or just using it to back up files. Brief history of it is it debuted in version 7 of Unix in 1979, which feels really weird thinking that was 41 years ago, but still. The file structure was standardized in POSIX 1 1988. In 2018, tar was added to Windows, and it has also been recently implemented into IBM I operating systems. The command for it is actually very simple. It's just tar-cvf, then you have the file name, and you change the file extension to .tar instead of keeping it as what it was, and then type out the file location. And for a breakdown of what each part does, the C in it creates a new .tar archive file. V verbosely shows the tar file progress, so it shows you exactly what it is archiving. And F changes the file name type to the archive file. Tarballs are often used compressed after being archived by the gzip command. This is where a lot of people get confused and think that tar actually compresses things, but it doesn't. It only does that in tandem with the gzip, they're often used together because it just simplifies everything. The file then changes to a tar.gz file, or it changes to a .tgz file. There isn't much difference that I could find between these two things. They seem to just basically be the same extension, just cut down a bit. So the command line for also compressing it is, and you don't need to put it into a tar file before this, but you just type tar cvzf file name .tar.gz and then the file location, or alternatively instead of tar.gz you could just put tgz, and there's supposed to be a space in between tgz and the file location. And like I said, the C creates the new tar file, V verbosely explains what the tar file is doing in the process. F is the file name for the archive file, and Z is the new letter. What it does is that just compresses the file. Untarring tarballs, which is essentially, if it's a TGZ, it is extracting it. If it is not, it is just removing it from being an archive. It's just as simple as doing it. All you have to do is change one letter in the command line. All you need to do is replace the C in it, and it changes it from changing it into an archive to either extracting the compressed archive or taking it out of an archive. And then we have the command line for it down here, tar-xvf, and file name .tar and here's where it changes. You can either add a -c and then change it to be specified to extract to a specific directory path, or you can just have it extract to where it is at the moment. Okay, that is the end of the slideshow, and then go over to this. Give it a minute. Okay, so let's say I made a file in advance for this, and it is the first thing you want to do is you want to find the file path to the file that you want to tar. So let's say you want to tar your secret file, in this case secrets.txt. So you hit tar-cvf secrets.tar, and then the file location, which is home Brady secrets. Gotta make sure you spell it right. Secrets.txt. Then do that, and then it is now in an archive file. So let's say you wanted to, and actually show that quick, there's now a secrets.tar in with the same place that this is. So minimize that. And let's say you wanted to compress it, so maybe you could email it to someone. All you do is hit tar cvzf. You don't actually need the dash for this one. Okay, it's .r.gz. Alternatively, you could do the tgz. home/brady/secrets.txt. Do that. And now if we go back to the file manager, we can see there is now a compressed version of that file. So then, last thing I'll show off is unzipping the file essentially. So tar-xvf bf, then secrets tar.gz home/secrets.tar.gz. I don't know if that worked. Not entirely sure why that's not working, but there we go. That's all you need to do for tar, and that's a basic rundown of how it works.